Ahoy! Tony Milazzo, you're live and on board, and my guest today is comedian actor Elijah Howard. How are you?
Man, what's up, Tony, man? I'm so glad to be here. One of the reasons I'm glad to be here is that you didn't call me Elijah Wood. I'm not a little short Jewish man, so I guess I would like to have his bankroll, but that's not me. But thank you for having me.
Yeah, good to have you. The buzz is out there. Elijah's pretty happening right now, doing a lot of comedy shows. You've seen him probably, I know he's done a cameo in a film, TV. He's been around. Today, he came out to Marina Del Rey Harbor to be on board Bellinote with me.
Yeah, man, I'm happy to be here. I'm glad we're not swimming. I am a black male, and I can swim, but I'm not interested, so, you know.
Different sport. Different sport. We're boating.
Right. That's funny. Absolutely.
But I'm glad you came out.
Well, thanks for inviting me, brother.
Thank you very much.
No doubt.
So let's talk about your comedy first. Let's get right into your comedy.
Let's talk about it.
I know you're doing a lot of shows. You're always out. You're doing stuff.
I'm doing some stuff.
Yeah. And how would you describe your comedy for people who haven't heard it yet?
I would describe my comedy as a roller coaster, you know, minus the screams. You know, like we're gonna, I mean, it's a thrill, but we're gonna cover some things. You know, if you give me some time, even if you give me 3 minutes, we're gonna cover some things. This is almost my 10th year, so I'm happy. You know, I'm not one of those comics who are unhappy. There are a lot of things that are going on Earth that aren't happy, so I try to make fun of them to bring light to the situation.
Great, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. So it's all about the real stuff.
But, yeah. I like to keep it real, man. I like to keep it real with myself. Sometimes I think that I get under people's skin because they don't believe me. You know, like, you know, if you say something, and then you do it, or if it's so, how do you put it? It's right there. You know what I'm saying? It's not lost. Right. It's not stolen. It's just hidden. You be like, if you just look again, you know, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And here's the thing about me: I'll never ask someone to agree with me. You know what I mean? Because I mean, for me, like I said, I'm a black man. I can't deal with falsehoods. Like, I can't be sensitive. Like, you know, I can't not work towards something that's positive. I can't take a break. You know what I mean? I can't, you know, sometimes I do take a break for other reasons that we can discuss later, but I'm always thinking of ways to improve myself. You know what I mean?
Good for you.
Always.
Right. Yeah, very positive guy, very upbeat.
Yeah.
Great personality. I like that about you.
Yeah.
Very positive.
Yeah.
And we need to lighten things up. People are so serious today in the world, what's going on. If we can't make them laugh or take them away for a little while.
Absolutely. It's almost like a doctor, you know, and for me, how do I put it? Like, for me, in real life, I'm serious. However, you know, at the end of the day, like, I like to laugh every day. Right. So it's my job to try to make someone laugh, you know, based upon something that they shared, or maybe it's something that they can't get over, you know, to say, look, man, it could be a lot worse.
Right. Now, if you can't make them laugh, at least you moved them and you took them on a little adventure and you talked about something, too.
Absolutely.
I had, you know, Roger Rod? I've had him on the show. Roger's a black comic, even though he's a white boy.
Okay.
A lot of people don't understand that, but he's a black comic, and he gets really serious. He knows how to, like, jerk you a little bit too.
Absolutely.
He wins the audience over and then cuts half loose.
Right.
And you know, I complimented him on that because I said, you still made them feel something. Like, they laughed, they were crying. It was so fun, and then they hated him in 2 minutes because he hit a soft spot.
Right.
With some real stuff.
Absolutely.
Right, and then they get up and, you know, and that's what it's all about for me. I think that's you're going even further than the guy who could just make everybody laugh.
Right.
You know, I want to see you make them cry. No, I'm just kidding.
Absolutely. No, sometimes, you know, like, I mean, comedians have number one, it's a privilege to be a comedian, and you have some responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm not a religious person, but even the Bible says most people are blind, deaf, and dumb. And, like, sometimes you gotta be like, look, man, if you plan on surviving, you might want to think a little different. Like, I know it's going well because you got the $75,000 a year job, you got the cute wife, and you go to church on Sundays. But you know what? They're coming for your ass first. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say who they are, but they're coming for you first. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not paying attention. No. You know, like, life is like a heavyweight boxing match. You know, you got to keep your guard up, and if you don't, you're gonna get knocked out. You know, it's coming.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, some people aren't paying attention.
Absolutely
not.
White
picket fence. They've got, you know, they think they have it all, and the minute it's all out from under.
I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? I mean, you're as a human, your responsibility is never done until you pass away. You're never done. You're never done learning. You're never done showing. You're never done doing.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, like, it's okay to rest sometimes, but however, if you know the truth, it behooves you to say it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the whole truth. Yeah. Not your little perception and the leverage. You know what I mean? And, you know, well, I've never done anything wrong to anybody. That's baloney. Yeah. Everybody's done something to somebody they shouldn't have done, and there's people who have overextended themselves in a nice way, and it didn't quite work out. So it goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? So
let's. You said something about relaxing. You know, you do have to step back. I find it hard. I'm like a workaholic. I'm going till 4 in the morning on the computers because, you know, now we have social networking that we have to do after we're done entertaining, during, before. There's a lot of things we have to take care of, promoting ourselves.
Right.
I'm always all keyed up. I find it hard, especially after a show, to go to sleep.
Absolutely.
How do you find it? What do you do to relax and, like, step back from it all so you can refuel?
I use Tinder to relax. There's a new dating app called Tinder. I use that to relax. No, I'm joking. Man. Anyway, no, we'll go.
Single, girls. He's single.
I am single. I think I'm going to stay that way. You know what I mean? That's why I'm 37. I don't look 37. You know. Yeah. Anyway, but no, what I do to relax is, you know, I like to work out. I do my little calisthenics, and I run, and I do my push-ups and sit-ups.
Yeah, you're in good shape.
I like to think. I like to think about, I'm always trying to think about improving myself. And what frustrates me as a man sometimes is when you don't have the resources to do that, you know? Like, I'm not a selfish person, but I am a stand-up comedian, so I have to have some level of narcissism because I'm up there by myself. I'm in L.A. by myself. I don't have a mom here. I don't have a wife. I don't have family members who call me on a regular basis. And when if those jokes suck and I don't make those connections, it's me. So, like, if you don't like my narcissism, like, you're not going to enjoy my success either. Because it's gonna get worse, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like it's like my friends out there. If they marry a girl that's fat and ugly, I don't want to take responsibility for that. You know what I mean? I don't want nothing to do with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, none of your business. Now, you're from New York?
I am not from New York.
Yeah.
No, I'm not from New York. I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama, but I grew up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, right outside Detroit.
Oh, okay.
So, but you know, I really appreciate New York. I think I have a New York mentality.
You were just back there, right?
I didn't make it out this summer, but I have gone to New York. I've done some stuff at the Gotham, and I've done some stuff in New Haven, Connecticut. Nice. So I like the East Coast, man. I don't mind when a mother of three comes to you and say, you know what, you suck. You stink as a comedian. It doesn't. I mean, like, that's her opinion. It doesn't bother me because I know I do need to get better. Yeah, you know, when you start feeling yourself, man, you're going. I mean, when you start feeling yourself, you're going down. Oh yeah. You're going down. You know, you're not gonna like.
You need a certain amount of that to keep you in check and keep you moving, keep you. Just like when a joke doesn't work or something doesn't work.
Absolutely.
You just know you like, I gotta go home and do my homework.
Absolutely.
That's homework.
Absolutely.
Us,
that's right, man. You gotta rewrite it. Yeah. You know, you gotta you gotta figure out the relevance. Why did I even say that? You know what I mean? You know, you have to really work at it. Yeah. You know, that's one of the things I like when I go on a riff and like people are like, what was he like? And I forget where I'm going with it, but it actually made sense. So I'm like, what I should start doing is taking a pencil and paper up there and be like, can you guys take a time out for me? I know you guys paid $20 to come in here, but I need to write this down, you know, for my $1 million come up. Anyway, you know, so you know, just. Yeah.
So what clubs are you doing out here? I know I see you around.
Yeah, I did a couple hole in the walls. I'm doing the Park Bar with my guy Eric Alera, another Italian American. You know, another white guy. I like the white guys, man. The white guys treat you good, man. Like they give you drink tickets, man. I don't smoke. I don't smoke weed, but they usually got a little marijuana there to hang out. I mean, they got the pretty girls there. I like that. You know. Good. You know, and I'll bring this up. I don't like to bring up race, but like it's a huge difference between the way the Jewish comics and the white comics act, between the black comics and the black comics act towards each other. Yeah. There's a huge difference, man. Definitely. I mean, the black comedians who made it. Oh my goodness, man! These guys get these females around. They bring out these female. I'm not gonna name any names. I could, but I'm not a punk like that. You know, man. You do you. However, there are a few guys who bring out these entourages. They act like they've never had sex with a woman, and then all of a sudden, when something jumps off, when someone's had too many drinks, and they get to throwing fist and pulling out weave and talking about I'll whoop your ass in church. You're like, man, what is going on here? I don't need all that. You know, I just want to tell my jokes, have me a little Chardonnay, go home, and get ready for the next day. I don't need all the I don't do drama.
No drama.
I don't do the drama, man.
Yeah,
Because
free.
if I react the way I really want to react, it'd be bad for everybody.
Yeah.
Because you can't do that. I mean, you're from New York.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's I'm sure there's a few things.
I have to turn the other cheek.
There's a reason why you have this boat out here on this water. You know what I mean? Sleeping with the fishes. You know what I mean? You look at somebody like, okay, man, relax. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to move forward. I don't need all this extra.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this worth? Do I want to? Yeah, I'll walk away.
Absolutely.
I'll just walk away.
So back to what you said. I'm doing the Park Bar. I'm doing Flappers with Michelle Evans. I'm doing Cork Lounge with my guy Jay. I got a couple things coming up. A couple table reads.
Great.
With Chaos Entertainment. They're doing a program called Naked X. It's like a certain entity. It's not porn, but like it's like a group of upcoming young actors, and we're going to be doing a bunch of different projects.
Oh,
so
great.
I'm just happy to be relevant.
Good stuff.
I'm just happy.
Where can people find you since we're talking about this right now?
I'm on Twitter.
You're on Twitter.
I don't have a website yet, but I'm on Twitter.
What's your Twitter handle?
At Elijah Howard. That's ElijahHoward.
All right.
I'm on Facebook. I don't do the Instagram. I have enough distractions, so I don't need to be. You know what I mean? I don't need to be looking at TNA all day.
Yeah.
You know.
And I don't want to be giving my images. You know, they use those images for everything, commercials
Absolutely.
and stuff.
Right.
I'm a union guy, man. I'm an entertainer for money, man. You can't take my picture.
You got to remember, pimping ain't easy, and it never will be. You know what I mean? It may appear that way.
It's even harder because we're pimping ourselves.
Absolutely, that's right. Absolutely,
that's way harder than pimping somebody else.
What kind of crap is this? This is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Anybody could pimp somebody else.
Absolutely, especially if you think about it like that. You're like, hey, you're right.
We're in the toughest business there is. You know?
Right.
There's some brain surgery, probably, right?
Absolutely.
We are doing brain surgery in a way too.
Absolutely, a very spiritual, psychological, opening.
We have to be gentle and careful.
Yeah.
Gotta hit the right funny bone.
Absolutely. Perhaps. Yeah. I think comedy. The hardest part about comedy is coming up with things that are relevant and having the balls to say it.
Yeah.
Having the guts to say, you know what? Because when I first started preliminary, when I was first starting out, I was scared. I wanted to be a good Christian, and I don't want to say that. But now, me knowing what other Christians do, I don't care if you are a Christian. I'm not knocking anybody's religion, but people are human.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to tell some stories. You know what I mean? Here we go. I need to tell some stories about me. I need to tell some stories about my, about the church. I need to tell some story about white supremacy. I need to tell some stories about the Black Panthers. I need to talk about things that people don't want to put out there, but we only share one earth. So all this stuff is relevant because it's going on. It's happening, So,
unless they're hiding under a rock or
absolutely
sheltering themselves with their rose-colored glasses.
Absolutely, that's right.
We got to bring it. Bring it. I mean, I come from a Catholic background, Italian, the family.
Absolutely.
They belong to Sons of Italy.
Right.
I'm going to talk about everything. Italians, the mob, shortness.
Absolutely,
There's
man.
nothing that's safe. I'm out there on everybody.
Absolutely, right? Man. I mean, I think there's one thing about comedy. I got a rule. I don't talk about people who are handicapped mentally or physically. Other than that, man, you got a problem. Eventually, when I figure out, just like with the Kim Kardashian joke, I wasn't hating on Kim Kardashian or Kanye West. I was just painting a picture that people are apparently neglecting. I know everybody talks about Kim Kardashian, but I had the Joe Jackson reference. People don't understand the brilliance of Kris Jenner. I mean, she weaved a web the financial web is in the billions. And now Lamar Odom's money's gone because him and Chloe have gotten a divorce or they're getting a divorce. Yeah. But look at everybody that she has popped out of her vagina and everybody that they're dating and married to.
Oh yeah.
If you in New York, if you're a garbage man, that's an admirable job. Know why? Because you get paid every week and someone has to pick up the trash. However, you could never be in the Kardashian clan if you're a garbage man. You wouldn't be good enough.
Yeah.
And I just find that's very superficial, and it's starting a culture with females and men when you're unsuccessful in that capacity. Because how many people can make 7 figures? That's crazy. That's stupid.
Well, I always got to ask that person who's like, "What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table?"
Absolutely, yeah. You better have. I want to. You know what? You want to see my bank statements and you want to see my check stub. I want to see your check stub and your bank statement.
But you know what sums it up? Whitney Cummings. I know her for years. Friend of mine. In her act, you ever hear her opening on her 1-hour special where she says something about what do you bring to the table? Oh, she said to him, "What do you bring to the table?" So he kicked it back after he said what he brought to the. What do you bring to the table? And she said, "Are you joking me? I have a vagina."
Right, absolutely.
You know, that's what I bring to the table.
Absolutely, that's right.
That's really the culture, especially in LA.
Right. And I'm gonna be honest with you.
More than anywhere else.
That's right, man.
Generation.
You're so right about that, Tony. For me, man, I've had sex with enough women where I'm over that. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just letting you know, like, I mean, at the end of the day, we can
you better have something more than a vagina.
I'm telling you, man, I can't do it. You know what I mean? I think I'm a handsome, smart man, so I deserve the best.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be around me and you want to bring that vagina crap to the table, then I mean, we can talk about you. We can talk about what a vagina really is.
Yeah.
Number one, it's nice, you know, like I mean, but it's a wet muscle that bleed once a month. So you're really gonna give it that much credit? Scientifically, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's a wet muscle. And it's a birth canal, you know. It's nice, you know. I guess being nice is not scientific.
They do have the power. They have that power
right.
of birth.
And don't you think it's kind of funny, like how much emphasis we put on that, and then all of a sudden women want respect, which I'm okay with, and which you should want respect, but you're gonna use that as a.
It makes it bad for all the good women out there. There's great women out there.
Yeah.
I would say we're probably talking about the lower percentage, maybe the higher percentage in LA. In Hollywood, but anywhere else, it's the lower percentage of women that are feeling that way. But it's growing because it's all these women that are listening to this and girls at 16 to 24 years old are absorbing all this.
Absolutely, man. And like, you know, if I was raising a daughter, man, I would just be straight up with her. You know, like, what are your goals? What do you want to be? Because it's available for you. However, like I said earlier,
you need to do that. You shouldn't wait around for a guy to give that to you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, that's like, my mom's very old school dinosaur kind of, you know, from years ago kind of beliefs.
Right.
And I'm surprised to hear her. I hear her talking to a lady. That's the first thing she says. What are you doing? Are you going to college? Get an education. Make some money of your own so you can make choices of who you want to be with.
Absolutely. Don't get trapped in something. Absolutely. However, since we are comedians, please keep screwing up. Ladies.
Well, nothing to joke about on stage.
Ladies, please keep using that. What did I say? That the nice wet muscle that bleeds once a month. Please keep using that for perception and leverage. I love it. But I mean, you got to remember, there's a few weak men out there that are boohooing, but like men don't really care. Like, but when there's a lot of women out here that are trapped because they thought they could change. A girl told me one time, or a female told me, I'm a changer. I'm a fixer. I thought I could fix him with my vagina and with my life. I went on a date with a girl.
You can't change anybody.
This guy.
No one changes.
She was 32. He's 31. Her parents are still doing his laundry and folding his clothes, and she's out on a date with me.
I'd love to be optimistic and say, oh yeah, girls, you could change somebody, but 98%, 99% of the time you can't change.
I mean, the thing about it is, if you can't even change yourself, how the hell are you going to change somebody else? That doesn't make any sense.
That's a problem. Most of them aren't happy with themselves.
I mean,
that's for guys too. Well, let's segue into that.
Okay.
Really positive, because you're a pretty inspiring guy.
Okay.
And very positive.
Okay.
You know, like something we could talk about. You know, about being positive, inspiring. It's like it's all about. It's all about being happy with yourself and loving yourself.
Right.
Like, how did you get to this point, like where you at right now, where you're really focused, you know what you want?
Right.
You know, you're a smart guy now.
Right. I mean, for me, inspiration came from my mother. She's no longer with us, but my mom didn't play any games. You know, she carried a gun and she would whoop me. You know, so like, you know, like I got beatings, you know, so she told me, number one, closed mouths don't get fed. So when she asked me, like, what would you like to eat, Elijah, I would have to speak up. I couldn't put my head down. Well, I don't know. I mean, number one, that'll get you popped in the mouth, and you're gonna go to bed. You know, or you're gonna have to eat with that fat lip. Yeah. You know, so you know, it's one of those things where, like, you know, I'm not religious, but I do believe in the Creator, and I believe I was born for a reason. You know, I'm not a person of any type of royalty based upon people giving you that title, but I think I possess some really good, soulful, like, good things that I can implement and affect the world in a positive place. I can't be a jerk, you know, because I mean, like, you know, if you're not a jerk, sometimes people will run you over.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta be very blunt and very forward and very stern with people, because you know that's what I expect back. You know, You know what I mean? I don't have. You gotta always keep that screw tight. You know, I laugh when people say, well, especially when women say, like, I'm a nurturer, so I like to take care of other people before I take care of myself. Ladies, mama has to eat first. You cannot, especially if it's not your child. If you hungry, you can't feed somebody else.
And if you
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, if you don't take care of yourself, you're no good to anybody else.
Absolutely. So number one, when you say that, you're BSing me. You're lying.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean, you're trying to sell me something. You're trying to bring me in.
That's the foot in the door, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm no fool. You know what I mean? I got 3 sisters. I know what it's like to. I know what women are like. You know what I mean? I had a grandmother and a great grandmother, and I remember some of the conversations, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a lot of females in my life growing up. It was probably really good for me. Cause I do have a lot of respect for women.
Right.
I was brought up really well. I do care about other people and their feelings, morals.
Right.
You know, what's nice to do, what's not.
Right.
And that's key.
Right.
So family, did they back what you're doing? I know they made you who you are. How do they feel about what you're doing?
Well, that's a loaded question, so I'm not going to really get into it. Actually, I will. I don't really think I get the respect and the backing I deserve.
Right.
You know, I don't have any kids out of wedlock. I'm not beating women. I'm not, you know, I don't have a girlfriend. I'm not taking advantage of anybody. I'm just trying to put my foot in the door in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a relationship with my dad. You know, I never will again. You know, he kind of threw me under the bus. We have the same name. I know who he is. He isn't a figment of my imagination, but he's a very disrespectful man when it comes to me and my craft. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if we can cuss on here, but there's a religion amongst black people, especially from the South, and it's called That Nigga Ain't Shit. And it's a religion that you don't want to talk about it, but it's the underlining thing. If you don't do exactly what people want you to do, if they can't program you to do, go to church, get a wife before you're 27, have kids, come over for Christmas, come over for Thanksgiving. Well, why can't we just hang out? Why do they have to have a date on the calendar to hang out? Why can't we just call each other and make a plan to meet up and give each other a hug and keep it moving? You know, to see if you're doing okay. So back to what you asked me, they don't support me. When I was on Conan O'Brien, I texted everybody and told them I was going to be on national TV with the Deion Cole Mitt Romney skit. That's a big deal. It didn't pay a whole lot, but it was a big deal to meet Conan O'Brien.
Oh, that is a big
deal. Great dude, man. Deion Cole, a great dude, man. The whole production staff, a great dude. People act like I said I was going to be raising chimps. You know what I mean? They just totally threw it under the rug. But if I need a couple bucks, you know, as a comedian, like my resume, like I'll work. I'll do whatever it takes to get to where I gotta go. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I took public transportation to get here.
You're hustling.
And it took me 3 hours to get here. But I enjoyed those 3 hours because number one, I'm alive. This boat is nice, and I'm going to the top because I said so, not because I need their approval. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're on this show because you're funny, and you're hustling.
Absolutely. So I mean, like
you're multi-talented, or you wouldn't be here.
I mean, some people have supported me the way I feel they should because like this is my gig, and I feel like, I mean, people, when you ask them for something, they feel that you're almost like their puppet, and you got to remember, debt is slavery, and a lot of people don't understand it. You know, and like, I mean, today I could get a phone call today that could change my life. And then all of a sudden, now the times, the social media, the regular media can put that stuff out there. Then I guarantee you that phone will blow up, and those Facebook inboxes will blow up. Just like when I did the Kevin Hart movie, they took my lines out, but when people saw me in there, I was talking to this one girl. She said she screamed when she saw me. I said, well, you know I'm an actor. Why did you scream? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't need all the groupie action. I don't need all the, like, you know, I've always been a popular guy. I've always had the ladies on my side. I was a pretty good athlete. I played sports in college. You know, I've always been a good dude. I'm really shocked by all the negativity and all the doubt. You know what I mean? I remember in 1994 having people rolling in class and getting thrown out of the class, but I didn't want to be a comedian. You know what I mean? I was a fan. Like, I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't care until they called my mother. Then I'd be like, oh boy. You know, I started speaking the Queen's English if I knew she was coming up to the school. But you know what I'm saying? Just all the doubt, man. He's like, dog, like, really? And like, for me, Hollywood is not that hard. Like, if you get somebody to vouch for you, and you're actually going to do the work, man, you're golden. You might not get the millions of dollars, but you don't need all that. You know, you just want to have consistent work. You know, and I know some pretty prestigious people.
It's unfortunate everybody judges things on that. Like, how much did you make for that? That's the next question when you were in some.
Right. You can have hepatitis.
Would they pay you for that?
You can have hepatitis C that you can't cure, but if you got $500 grand in the bank, you'll just have $500 grand in the bank with hepatitis C.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You'll have.
They're not
you know what I mean?
attention.
You know what I mean? So like, I mean, like for instance, I know a lot of people. I went to Michigan for a little bit. I played a little ball at Michigan, and I've been around the program football, basketball, hockey, baseball for years. Almost 20 years. Not one person has voluntarily in that program. I'm not going to name any names. Actually, I'll take that back. Bruce Made, the assistant athletic director, took me out to dinner, and actually he wants to connect with you and other people, and he wants to make me a blog. Like, Bruce has been around the athletic department for almost 40 years. He's retired now. And, Bruce, he's a white older guy. He's about to retire. Why does he want to help me? So he said, I want to help you get to the next level. And I said, cool. However, all the players that I know, all the people I know who have tons of money, all my friends that went pro, like, when I ask them for stuff, they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm not looking for a handout. I'm just trying to keep from robbing a bank. I'm trying to keep from, I'm trying to keep from stealing. I'm just trying to stay focused on this. I don't want a handout. We can do a comedy show every week as long as you, I know people. So if there's a budget, we can fly them in. We can just keep doing shows, keep hustling until I have enough to execute, to survive, to do the things I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because when you commit yourself to comedy, it's hard to keep a resume and then go in and they say, well, what do? You look good, you look healthy, you're smart, but can you bust a table? Because if you don't have restaurant experience and if you're not Mexican, you're not getting a job out here.
Exactly.
You're just not. You know what I mean? I'll do whatever, but my point is, I don't feel that I get the support and the respect I need. All my buddies that went pro, I respected them, the good, bad, and the ugly. All my buddies that didn't go pro or their careers were cut short, man, they needed something to eat.
And I don't think people realize that the work, in other words, that goes into it. When you're finally doing a show or doing something, how about those 17 hours a day hustling for that?
Absolutely.
No respect for that. That we get no respect for. All the hours, hundreds of hours of time. No one comprehends that. It's
just like with Kevin Hart. Like Kevin Hart has been funny. All of a sudden now the black community wants to support him, but then now when he does a couple things, on the non-urban side, now he's a sellout. You know what, black people, I want to be a sellout. How about that? I want to get paid for services rendered. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a dope dealer with my pants sagging with 4 baby mamas thinking it's cool. Yeah. I wasn't born to do that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, for me, I'm never asking for a handout.
Elijah Howard's working hard.
Absolutely. It's like, you from New York, and I know you probably... I know you know the streets well. Oh. If I was looking for a handout, I'd just bust you in your head and take it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I know where people live. You know what I mean? But I'm not that type of dude. I'm not you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
If you really wanted to get technical, I would just say...
Working hard, doing the right thing.
You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's just one of the things where, I would never...
Unfortunately, respect goes by money.
Yeah.
And so you don't see it till it's like, boom!
Right.
And you got, a couple $1 million.
Right.
And, all of a sudden people are like, oh.
Even now, there's a few people we have nothing to discuss. If I owe you and you reached out to me, fine, man, you'll get your money in due time. But there's a lot of people I wouldn't even have a conversation with. I'm just not gonna talk to you, man. You know what I mean? I've experienced a lot of jealousy. I got a funny friend that I'm not gonna name his name, but him and his wife, she grew up very privileged and they got a little bit of money, but they think I'm not funny. Oh man, you ain't never gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? And this person has never worked hard a day in her life. Who is she to judge anybody? You know what I mean? All she's ever did was lay on her back and just manipulate people because she had the resources and the leverage to do that. You get what I'm saying? Who are you to judge me? And I've never judged you.
Yeah.
However, when I get to the next level, there's going to be a whole lot of people running. You know what I mean? There's going to be a whole... I'm the big bad wolf, and you might well get ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because comedians pose a lot of power. You know what I mean? So if you really want to get technical, there's 2 things you should never mess with: a gangster and his money, and a comedian. If you want to go there, if you want to go there, we can go there.
Don't mess with a gangster or a comedian.
A comedian. Because you can say whatever you want to about me, because I'm a self-aware man. You're not going to change how I feel about me, because I already know that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm comfortable. You get what I'm saying? I don't care.
Exactly.
But other people, they don't have that, because they got to show up at church, or they got to, they got to go to the job. And but if I say something about you and you got to go to the job, I'm like, oh my goodness, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, good stuff. You just got to let it you got to have thin skin, let it slide off your back.
Absolutely.
And it's usually somebody that goes, oh, you're not funny.
Absolutely. It's like, man,
I love people too when you go. I go to events, parties, or I just see people somewhere and they go, "Oh, you're a comic. Why don't you say something funny?
Right.
Why don't you write me a check?"
Absolutely. Yeah. And we get. That's so funny you bring that up, Tony. I was thinking, I feel that comedians should get tips. If you go to the crowd and you rock that crowd and you get a laugh each minute, you should get $25 per laugh. Here's another thing. When someone says, make me laugh, it's like when somebody asks, are you the cops? So if they say, yes, I'm the cops, they can't arrest you for what they're about to do. I think that's the law. Because that's when people are like, are you the cops? Because like now it's an undercover thing going on.
Right.
So when you say, are you a comedian? Yes, I'm a professional comedian. Make me laugh. So when I make you laugh, and you don't, it's $100 a laugh. I'm gonna start sending you invoices, and I'm gonna send my goons after you. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna figure out what's going on with it.
We're gonna tax you.
You get what I'm saying? I mean, and then comedians are sick. I'm a very disgusting and vile man to a certain degree sometimes. So you want me to talk about your ugly ass wife? You really want me to do that? You really want me to talk about your toes in those sandals? You know what I mean? Like, number one, why do you even have on sandals? You know what I mean? Like,
they couldn't handle the truth.
You get what I'm saying? Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
They can't.
You know what I mean? Like, for me, if you said something about me, I would be like,
you don't want me to be funny, okay?
You get what I'm saying?
Don't get me started.
You know what I mean? I had this girl tell me one time that I was a horrible lover. And, like, I said, okay. I said, well, you're about a 5 on the Richter scale, so, there's no reason you didn't give me any motivation to be a good lover. Did you ever think about that? I never saw her again, so, like...
Take it from where it's coming from.
I mean, for me, like, I'm, like, seriously, like, if you really, especially if I've had a couple drinks, I can say some things and you'd be like, oh, my goodness, I can't believe you just said that.
Did he say that?
I can't believe you just said that. Like, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? What am I, Charlie Brown here? Like, you know what I mean?
So we got him all keyed up. He's all riled up.
I'm all riled up.
We're on the water where we're supposed to be relaxing.
Right.
So my next question is about boating. Have you boated before? Have you done any boating?
I've been on a boat before, a pontoon boat. I've never been on a yacht. I've never been on a boat like this.
How'd that go? Did you get sick or anything?
No, I didn't. No. Actually, I think we had some drinks. I do have a lot of white friends, so they make a little bit of money, and they have a little lake house, and we go out to like a little chain of lakes, and they invited me up, and we did some things.
Great.
Yeah. We did some tubing. We did some stuff, so
Good
I'm not
stuff.
afraid. I just don't like to just.
So will we get you out sailing one of these days, or what?
You know what? I'll come out.
Come out sailing?
I'll come out, man.
All right. We're just bobbing around today out here in Marina Del Rey Harbor.
Man, this is awesome, man. I mean, when I came out here, and I actually when I went the wrong way, I saw that girl with the bikini, and I was like, I'm doing the wrong thing in life. This is ridiculous, man. And she didn't speak English, and I said, that's great. She doesn't speak English.
Even better.
So that means we can't argue about something I don't even care about.
You see, the Milazzo is hanging out on the water. Girls that don't speak English.
Man, that's why I asked. Like, I actually did have a friend that wanted to come, but you said no, it's not a good idea. But like, man, I mean, we can set this off, man.
Oh,
Make it real intimate, man.
We're gonna get back together.
Get a couple of these bottles, man.
I like you. You're a hard worker.
Yeah.
I like hard workers.
Yeah, man.
There's one thing I have to respect is somebody who works hard, hustles for his dream.
Right.
Feels the dream, has the passion,
right.
And you do that.
Absolutely.
You're the man.
My man.
You're the man.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being on the show today.
Man, thank you for having me.
And could we leave somebody with your information? Make sure they have your .com, your Twitter, whatever it is you have, so they can find you.
Okay.
And also maybe some final words or something important, or for maybe people out there listening who think they could be funny or that need to be inspired, and whether it's this career or something else and need to move forward.
Yeah, man, my Twitter handle is @Elijah Howard, so that's ELIJAH. You can Google me. I'm on Facebook. I have a Facebook page. I'm gonna be at the Park Bar tomorrow with Eric Allegra. I'll be at Flappers next week. I'll be at the Cork Lounge in Sherman Oaks next week. I got a lot going on with a few table reads with my man Ross. I'm gonna be getting that together. Just stay positive, man, and like. You got to remember, like, the world is taking a really, really sharp left, and like people are like taking things out of context. I think Mark Cuban said something before about I think he made a reference to Trayvon Martin, and the Trayvon Martin situation was very, very, very sad. But if you really look at your Google and you look at your local news and your world news and your just the news in general, there's a bunch of Trayvon Martin situations out there. And you got to remember that the media are pimps and that's propaganda, and they want to keep things away from us. So it's kind of like this: when the media tells you one thing, it's more. You know what I mean? It's almost like when you ask a woman how many men she's been with. When she says 3, it's really 20. You know what I mean? Ladies, when the tip goes in,
same for guys.
Right.
How many women you feel? I don't know, 20.
Right.
2,000.
Right, absolutely. That's right, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like the tip counts, lady. You know what I mean? That's intercourse.
I think we're gonna leave off on that.
Hey. I ain't mad at you. You know what I mean? Thanks for having me, brother.
Thanks for coming out to Marina Del Rey Harbor and being on live and on board. Ahoy, everybody.